In the year ahead, one clear opportunity is the need to focus on how governments work across borders. That is at the core of a lawsuit that we have brought in federal court in New York, challenging the U.S. government's ability to access email that is stored in our data center in Ireland. We believe that governments need appropriate access, but we do not believe that the answer is to ignore national sovereignty or trample upon it. Governments need to respect each other's borders, and they need to respect each other's laws. The key instead is to strengthen the ability of governments to act pursuant to appropriate laws by modernizing international law to keep pace with technology. Now, the good news is we're not working without a foundation. Even in our case in the United States, the government of Ireland has filed an amicus brief talking about the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty, or MLAT, between the United States and Ireland. As the government of Ireland noted in its brief, it is prepared to respond expeditiously to a request for the content made pursuant to that MLAT. As this underscores, in our view, international cooperation rather than unilateral intervention across borders should be the first step that governments take when they want data that is stored somewhere else. We saw this ourselves just 2 weeks ago. On the morning of January 7th, the French government sought the content of emails from 2 customer accounts held by Microsoft when it was in the midst of pursuing the Charlie Hebdo suspects. Rather than come to Microsoft directly across the border, the French government turned to the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States, and the FBI served upon Microsoft an emergency request under a provision of the Electronic Communications Privacy Act. Despite the fact that that letter was received by Microsoft at 5:47 a.m. on the West Coast of the United States, we were able to assess the legal validity of the order, conclude that it was proper, pull the email content in question, and deliver it to the FBI in New York, all in 45 minutes. In short, there are times, especially in emergency situations, when existing international legal processes work well. They need to work well. And as the French example showed, governments have the capability to work with each other. What we need, however, is new solutions that will enable this type of legal collaboration and the rule of law to work well more routinely across national borders.